Most people completely misunderstand how easy it can be to start a company in certain parts of the world, and at the same time, they underestimate the small mistakes that can quietly destroy that opportunity before it even begins. If you're thinking about registering an LLC in Dominica, there's something extremely important you need to know first. Because while the process looks simple on the surface, there are a few critical decisions that can determine whether your company becomes a powerful international asset, or just another failed attempt. And the surprising truth is this: Dominica is one of the most overlooked jurisdictions for entrepreneurs who want flexibility, efficiency, and global reach. But here's where things get interesting. The simplicity of the system is exactly what causes people to make careless mistakes. Let me show you what that means. Michael had spent years building small online businesses. Nothing massive, but enough to give him freedom. Over time, he started hearing more and more about offshore companies. Lower taxes, less bureaucracy, faster setup. Naturally, he became curious. After researching different jurisdictions, he came across Dominica. It seemed perfect. Quick registration, minimal reporting, international appeal. So he decided to move forward. But here's the problem. He assumed that easy meant no strategy required, and that assumption nearly cost him everything. Let's pause for a second and understand what a Dominica LLC actually is. In Dominica, the structure most similar to an LLC is called an International Business Company, or IBC. And this small detail makes a huge difference. Because when people say LLC in Dominica, they're almost always referring to an IBC. An IBC is designed specifically for international business activities. It allows foreign owners to operate globally while benefiting from a streamlined regulatory environment. Sounds ideal, right? But there's one detail most people miss. EBC companies in Dominica are generally not allowed to conduct business within Dominica itself. And this is where things can go very wrong. Zara, a freelance consultant, set up her company in Dominica, thinking she could use it for both international clients and local Caribbean work. But when she tried to operate locally, she ran into restrictions. Her business structure wasn't designed for that. And what happens next changed everything. She had to restructure her entire setup, costing time and money. So the first key insight is this. You need to be absolutely clear about your business model. Dominica IBCAs are ideal for international operations, not local trade within Dominica. Now let's move forward. One of the biggest advantages of registering a company in Dominica is the speed of incorporation. In many cases, the process can be completed within a few days. But here's where things get interesting. That speed depends entirely on how prepared you are. David, an e-commerce seller, wanted to move quickly. He submitted his application with incomplete documentation, assuming it would be fixed later. But this is where it gets dangerous. Incomplete or incorrect information can delay the process significantly. Instead of a few days, his registration took weeks. And this is where most people lose momentum. So let's walk through the process properly, step by step, the way it should be done. The first step is choosing a company name. This might sound simple, but it's more important than most people realize. Your company name must be unique, and not too similar to existing entities. And here's the detail that surprises many people. Certain words are restricted or require special approval. Words like bank, insurance, or trust are tightly controlled. Emily, a startup founder, wanted to position her company as a financial advisory firm. She included the word finance in her company name. That triggered additional scrutiny. Her application was delayed while authorities reviewed her intended activities. So the smarter approach is to choose a name that reflects your business without triggering unnecessary complications. Now, once your name is approved, the next step is appointing a registered agent. And this is not optional. In Dominica, every EBC must have a licensed registered agent based in the country. This agent acts as the official point of contact between your company and the government. But here's the problem. Not all agents provide the same level of service. Daniel, an entrepreneur from Florida, chose the cheapest agent he could find. At first, everything seemed fine. But later, When he needed assistance with documentation and compliance, he realized something. His agent offered minimal support. And what happens next can frustrate a lot of people. He had to switch agents, which added extra costs and delays. So this is one of those decisions where going cheap can backfire. Now let's talk about shareholders and directors. Dominica offers a high level of flexibility in this area. You can have a single shareholder and a single director, and they can be the same person. There are no strict nationality requirements. This makes it very attractive for solo entrepreneurs. But here's where things get interesting again. While the structure is flexible, you still need to provide proper identification and due diligence documents. This typically includes a passport copy, proof of address, and sometimes professional references. Jessica, a digital nomad, underestimated this step. She assumed a simple ID would be enough. But her application was delayed because she didn't provide a properly certified proof of address. And this small detail makes a huge difference. Because compliance checks are taken seriously, even in jurisdictions known for simplicity. Now, once your documents are submitted and approved, your company is officially incorporated. This is the moment many people celebrate. Your company exists. You have your incorporation certificate. You're ready to operate. But here's where things get interesting. This is not the finish line. It's the starting point. Now you need to think about how your company will actually function. One of the first things you'll need is a business bank account. And this is where many entrepreneurs face unexpected challenges. Dominica itself has banking options, but many IBC owners choose to open accounts in other jurisdictions. Why? Because international banking requirements can vary. And this is where things can go very wrong. Banks conduct strict due diligence. They want to understand your business model, your source of funds, and your expected transactions. Michael learned this the hard way. He thought having a registered company would automatically make opening a bank account easy. But the bank rejected his application due to insufficient business documentation. So here's the insight that changes everything. Your company setup and your banking strategy must align. You need to present a clear, legitimate, and well-documented business plan. Now let's talk about taxes. One of the main reasons people choose Dominica is its tax advantages. EBC companies are generally exempt from local corporate taxes on income earned outside Dominica. That sounds powerful. But here's the problem. Tax obligations don't disappear. They shift. You may still have tax responsibilities in your country of residence. And this is where most people make dangerous assumptions. David believed his Dominica company meant zero taxes everywhere. But later, he discovered that his home country still required reporting of foreign income. This led to compliance issues. So the key takeaway is this. You need to understand both local and international tax rules. Now, let's move into ongoing compliance. One of the benefits of Dominica is relatively low reporting requirements. But that doesn't mean no requirements. You'll still need to maintain basic records and renew your company annually. And this is where small mistakes can become big problems. Emily forgot to renew her company on time. The result? Penalties and temporary loss of good standing. So staying organized is essential. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. At this point you might be thinking, this sounds manageable, but also risky if done incorrectly. And that's exactly right. Because here's the reality. Dominica offers simplicity and flexibility. But it expects you to act responsibly. If you approach it casually, you can run into problems. But if you approach it strategically, you unlock a powerful tool for global business. Let's go back to Michael. After his initial mistakes, he took a step back. He restructured his approach. He clarified his business model. He worked with a reliable agent. He prepared proper documentation. And what happened next changed everything. His company was set up smoothly. He opened a bank account successfully. He started operating internationally with confidence. And this is the transformation you want. From confusion to clarity. From guesswork to strategy. From risk to control. So let's bring everything together. To register an LLC in Dominica, you need to understand that you're likely forming an international business company. You need a clear business model focused on international activity. You need a unique company name and a reliable registered agent. You need proper documentation for shareholders and directors. You need to think carefully about banking and taxes. And you need to stay compliant over time. It's not complicated, but it requires attention. And that's what separates successful entrepreneurs from those who struggle. Because most people rush. They skip details. They assume things will work out. But now, you're not most people. You understand the system. You see the risks. And you know how to navigate them. That's your advantage. And if you found this guide helpful and want more videos that break down complex global opportunities like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand how these systems really work, the more opportunities you can create for yourself.